Hey, I got well, I'm going to talk to you about the Oticon hearing aids that I got a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's a little bit longer than that, but uh, I've had hearing problems for, I don't know, years, I guess. I'm going to say 8 or 9 years, and I never thought that they were serious enough to get hearing aids for, but I'm constantly asking what. I have a hard time hearing the TV at home. I've even gotten to the point where, the what do they closed caption? I've got that on all the time. It helps me, and I don't particularly rely on that all by itself because I can still hear the words and everything. But there's a lot of times where, um, it's muffled and I have DVR, so I'll stop it and rewind it and go over again, especially if it's something I was really wanting to hear. Anyway, I recently retired, and I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I just decided it was time to look into some hearing aids. So it was actually totally on accident. The place that I stopped was in a town in Illinois called Naperville, and it was Affordable Hearing Solutions. I hope it's okay to say that on YouTube. But it's a commercial store. The lady's name there, the audiologist, is Dana Fink. Very helpful. She did a great job with me, although I haven't gotten back to get my hearing aids readjusted. They kind of fine tune them. I got to get that done. But anyway, I went in and they put me in this booth, uh, about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger than like a Clark Kent telephone booth, and she sat on the other side of the glass and ran different sounds through to me through a set of headphones. I responded, and based on that, she could tell, what particular areas I wasn't hearing, what frequencies, that type of thing. And then once that was done, we went into her office, and she uh, offered me a pretty wide selection of different types of hearing aids. Different ones had, different attributes, upside, downside, that type of thing. Anyway, I ended up going with the brand name is Oticon. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that right there, Oticon. And they came in this box. They were about $2,800 each. You don't have to get two, depending on how your ears work and which one, or maybe just one has a problem. You can get one. You can start with one and get two. I went ahead and got them both because, according to Dana, both of my ears were messed up to some degree. So I think it was from. I used to really be into handguns, and I would not use ear protection and just go out and fire them off. I did it improperly. Didn't, like I say, didn't wear ear protection. I was also in the military and I was in the infantry, so a great deal of my time while I was there was shooting M16s and mines and hand grenades and whatnot. So I'm sure all that affected me. Plus, I always like to make the joke that I stood too close at rock concerts. I used to love to do that. It might be a little of each. It might not be any of those things. I don't know. Bottom line is I can't hear for crap. So I got these things. They took a couple of weeks once they were ordered. She probably could have gotten them in quicker, but for me there was no rush. I was going to be out of town anyway. When they came in, she called me, and anyway, they came in that box like I showed you a few minutes ago, and then they come in a case like this, and it stays closed. If you carry it around in your pocket or whatnot, it's got little magnets to keep it secure, and then these are what they look like. I don't know your perspective on this, but you can see from my fingers that they're pretty small. There's a little battery in there, in the replaceable. I picked those up at CVS, and that's what they look like. And then there's a channel button and a volume button, which it would be too much to try to explain on here right now. But when you put them away at night, you leave them open like this. You open them up, they're on a little hinge deal, and you put them in the box. And then when you want to fire them up, you just close them like that. And they've got little color things inside there. The blue is for left. It's got a little ring around it, and red is for the right side. And then they've got this little chime deal. Like right now, they're going off on my ear to let me know that they are fired up. I'd know anyway because there's a vast difference between uh, having them on and having them off. You can't see them. I mean, you got to look really close to see because that little wrong side. You can just barely see it like that, and I could probably mask it a little bit better. There you go. See, you can't see that. And I don't cut my hair a special way so that it covers it. It's just the way it's covered. But unless you knew they were there, you're not going to see them. Batteries last about a week if you're using them every day. And Dana set this thing up so that there's 4 channels on the model that I have. That one channel is for being outside, it'll block like wind and whatnot. Another channel, I click on this first channel for outside, I'll click it again, it's set up for television. As long as there's nobody in between me and the TV, it's perfect, and I don't have to rely on the closed caption anymore. And then there's one for close-up conversations, and there's a fourth one I don't even know, but there's more adjustments than I even need. They've been working fine. I thought that maybe earwax would be an issue, but in the case they give you these little tools like this one. There's a little brush, and I've only had to use them a couple times, and they're not disgusting. I mean, they stay pretty clean. You get a little wax build up in the plunger thing that goes in there. As far as feeling and how they are, with the first few days when I got them, they bother you because you got a lot of little hairs in the beginning part of your ears. I'm sure there's a technical name for it, and they push on those, and you're not used to it, so it was itchy. But I would just like wiggle it a little bit, and that would take care of the itch. Um, this is like a little thing, just a poker basically. And then there's a magnet on the other end of this deal that if you're a little fumbly picking up those little magnets, it just picks up the magnet and you can place it in the hearing aid while you're holding. It makes it a little bit easier. You've got replacement little uh, I don't know, the little plastic ends that go on there if they get mucked up with earwax or whatever. You can replace them. I haven't had to do one yet, and like I say, I've had them for a little while. And then there's a owner's manual. Now the lady, like I was saying, that's helped me with this whole thing. Oh, and you get a little case, if you want to put them. The one thing she said is never ever put them in your shirt pocket because you'll forget them. If they get washed, you're screwed. So other than that, you know, I haven't had any problems with them, and they definitely have had, helped out a lot. Now, I don't wear them as much as I'm supposed to, but that's on me. There's no reason why I shouldn't. And the more I use them, the more I use them. Uh, so that's about it. Like I say, they're a little pricey, but if you're sick of saying what all the time and missing out on conversations, television, and whatnot, then these are the answer. Um, they're everything I expected them to be, and the lady that took care of me was really good. So feel free to, you got any questions or whatever to ask, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thanks a lot. Catch you next time.